my program will give you a decent amount of FPS, but it doesn't provide something like GPU overclocking or NVIDIA Profile Inspector or any game related settings. So you need to do that separately. All my tweaks are related to customizing registry editor, and my program is open source. You can see the source code, you can see the registry path, and you can see the settings and the value itself. Some tweaks are well-known ones and some are experimental. Please report to me if that experimental settings have problems. That I'm experimenting on what settings could increase FPS, and my program could help your PC perform better, and it's free. If you want me to do a specific game optimization, you can tell me. We don't need to use NZTS app. I mean my program, but maybe use other programs, or maybe a simple Windows settings that we can change, something like that. If you would like to watch it, just tell me. I would do it for you guys. Thanks. Don't forget to update your NIC and Wi-Fi drivers before using my app. And also, before opening my app, turn off all antivirus programs first. Otherwise, it will flag my program and it will delete some of my components. So it won't be able to open. So after you've done that, I want you to go to restore point and then back up and then create your restore point. Just choose any drive you want to save your restore point to. But before that, you're gonna need to select drive that you want to back up. Go to configure. In restore settings, turn on system protection here. Custom your max usage to anything, like a percentage you want. Apply, OK. Click create, and then name anything, then create your respawn point, just in case something bad happened. Okay, after that, let's start tweaking. First, I have option for quick boost, which will apply some tweaks. The tweaks that I have applied are the tweaks that have the symbol of the bolt here. The bolt icon indicates that the tweaks are part of the quick boost. You will see some of them here in NVIDIA and some of them in Radeon. Then some of them in memory. If you don't want or you want to undone it, you're gonna press this restore recommended settings. So just restore anything that quick boost applied, but I don't want to do that. But that's not it. The quick boost, it just applies a certain settings, not all optimal settings. What you want to do is go to power and let's start tweaking things. First, you want to enable power plan import. So what it does is you can import a power plan like profile. Some of the apps, they don't allow you to import because they may have some program that interfere, like a fan control programs or maybe an ASUS program that tweaks your power settings, something like that. You want this to be enabled. Restart your computer and then open my application again and then start importing the power plan setting. You can have your own power plan imported. Just click the app button and you will add those power plan profile here. Next, I have the preset profile for you guys. So you click it, you will get successfully imported preset NZTS XP and then HP. XP means extreme performance. So I have a duplicate power plan. I'm gonna delete it. After that, you want to optimize the power settings. So you click optimize. If you don't like my optimization, right click and then restore power settings. It will restore like the apply setting here. We will skip Win32 priority separation here because we've already applied these settings already, so no need to change it, and it won't make a significant difference. I just found it to be a minor difference in terms of FPS and input lag. Doesn't matter. So next is gaming. Both Intel and AMD processor, I recommend to choose 3, no matter what. For 4, it disables the PPM service and it will not boost your clock. It will use your base speed of your CPU. For my custom tweaks, I tweaked multimedia tweaks, so you can enable that. For subsystem tweaks, if you want max request thread to be 256, that's okay, choose 1. If you choose 2, it will be max request threads to maximum, but that will cause some buggy UI. Okay, it will turn some UIs transparent, so you can choose 1, or you choose the default of 16 max request threads. That's fine. MMCSS, I've already chose the best one. System responsiveness 0 means absolute instant responsiveness, and I turned off lazy mode, so lazy mode timeout won't be relevant, okay, because it's being disabled. I don't want to go deep down this settings, nothing complicated and nothing interesting, so I will go into NVIDIA settings. For NVIDIA, for CS2 environment, this setting itself is so redundant because the max clock will be boosted if you choose NVIDIA Reflex on plus boost. So this will be better applied to other games, which you may find this tweak to be useful. Doesn't matter much in desktop environment because you don't actually need to use max boost clock for it. Okay, so you can take it off and it will save the power. Don't need to worry about it. For the 4 of these settings, I found that to be kinda little placebo. It doesn't work and it doesn't increase FPS much, so I'm just gonna avoid it. For these 2, it's really good because it boosts my FPS while recording with OBS playing Counter-Strike 2 by 10 or 20 FPS. That's cool, man. Because when I record with OBS, I lost like 40 FPS. For Radeon, it's a well-known tweak. You can like enable off it to disable like power saving. But like I said, if you're in desktop and doing nothing or maybe idling, you don't need to like tick on this. Maybe just make it save power sometimes. For Affinity and MSI, I want to teach you that, okay, if I have HT or hyperthreading or SMT disabled, I would configure my system like this. I will have benchmark button, which will benchmark like my CPUs, processors, and it will show like the score for each core and threads. If there are more than one thread, it will show like thread 1 and thread 2. But for this case, it will show only the one core. I will show you what I'm talking about. Ignore the E core. It's a bug in my program. I will fix it later. So if I have hyperthreading disabled, it will show the core name to be core 1 thread 1, core 2 thread 1, and core 3 thread 1, and so on. What you're gonna do is to find the best FPS here. So if I want my game to be very smooth, runs flawlessly, I would choose to find the 1% low. So it point that in this case would be CPU 6. So I need to tick the CPU 6 here, something like that. Just one tick here. Oh, and then before testing the benchmark, I want you to untick everything and then restart your PC and then come back and then test your benchmark, because otherwise your actual CPU will be bloated. This means that your performance will be lower than expected. So make sure you untick everything before testing the benchmark. For hyperthreading on or eCore on, I will show you how to do that. For HT, SMT enabled but eCore off, you will see that you have 2 threads per core, which means that you have to tick two CPUs. Now you need to find the best core for the FPS regardless of threads. If my core 8 is the best and is thread 2, all you need is to find thread 1. Or maybe in thread 2, you should find which CPU label it belongs to, which it belongs to CPU 15. Now we want to pair another CPU which is in core 8 as well, but it would be thread 1. So it's gonna be CPU 14. So CPU 14 and 15 belongs to core 8 and you would pair that. So you tick two CPUs here, CPU 14 and 15. Done, and then restart your PC. Actually, the way of doing it is the same as hyper-threading on. Just you need to be cautious about E-core score because 12th to 14th gen of Intel E-cores are lower bin cores. So you wouldn't want to use E-core as the affinity. Unlike Core Ultra, the E-core itself is as good as the P-core. So in my system, which is 12th gen of Intel, I would choose P-core even though the E-core score is better. And you do the same thing as hyper-threading on, SMT on. Everything is the same. After I shown you that, to get the best out of MSI and MSI Limit or priority is that for MSI, you want it to have the MSI Limit to 32. And then for MSI X, you want it to be 2048, which is the maximum for MSI X, or maybe 34 if your PC can't handle it. Because if you use the maximum amount of MSI Limit, sometimes it will lag your game out, and you don't want that during your competitive games. So just type 34 and then press apply. For me, I'm fine. My NIC card can handle that. And for priority, just leave it undefined. Because I found that I use high priority and then it decreases my FPS for some reason. Okay, so I won't be bothered to tweak that anymore. For EXE, I know the game lists are predefined settings, but I recommend you to just really use this advanced version, because if you use the game list, you won't be able to like tweak the certain settings you want it to be. Like if your game somehow better width above normal for CPU priority, then you won't able to do it with the game list here. But the downside with doing that is you have to remember the executable names. Like for Counter-Strike 2 is cs2.exe. So I have that configured already. But if the processors, if the executable name is so long, it would be difficult to use. So maybe you open the game first and then add active process. Now after you selected your game or whatever, now you restart your game and then your setting will be applied. You don't need to restart your PC. It's fine for this setup, but I won't be bothered with that. That's not the game, that's BlueStacks. For full screen optimization, disabler is kind of funny because you can literally just browse and then just right click and then go to properties, go to compatibility, and you just take disable full screen optimizations. You don't have to tweak it in my program, but it's just a double check just to make sure you have that disabled. So that's it for the EXE part. For INI, okay, this is the tweak that is really old and used by older operating systems, but I found out that I tweaked a certain amount of tweaks and it works. It can boost my FPS and lower my input lag. The input lag one doesn't decrease that much, but for FPS, okay, 10 FPS is alright. So you're gonna go to tweak and then apply profile. Go to Windows INI, you go to tweak and apply profile. that's it for the NIC. For memory, I've tested these settings and it's quite really good. I've tested these settings, they are great, but I'm not sure about the rest of these, as I just found it and it increases my FPS by 10 FPS. This one is also 10 FPS for a single one, but all of these are 10 plus FPS. But I haven't played enough to see like the errors or the problems here. So if you want to try it out, you just take it, enable the rest of it. For experimental, I don't recommend to take it anyway. Okay, there's a bug or error about this. I will fix it later, where it will show the enable option, whereas I didn't have these settings enabled in the first place. This is called isolation. I've disabled it and gained 20 FPS. So the trade-off is the reduce obscurity. If you want 100% obscurity, okay, enable that. This one is okay. You don't need to like tweak the settings. This is my experimental settings. But this one is the one you have to be cautious about, because it will remove Windows security and all mitigations. So to sum up for you, you cannot have your Windows security back unless you back it up using restore point. So you want to copy it, go to Windows PowerShell and then run as administrator. After that, you're gonna paste it. Okay, you paste it, and it will delete all the registry files of Windows security and like security related services. For these settings, I wouldn't recommend it if your main OS is like school projects, works, and then something important, personal files. Don't bother with the settings. I don't want you to risk it. If your OS is mainly for gaming, yeah, sure, why not? But you need to have two operating systems. So one is your main OS for works and stuff, and the second one is for gaming. For other settings, telemetry, don't bother with that. It won't increase FPS. For storage, don't bother with that. I just put it to experiment with it. So this is all. Thank you.